So Coachability Foundation is a non-profit organization, okay, and that supports women, entrepreneur women from Africa, especially it's from Africa, from South Africa, okay. So the aim of the organization is to collaborate and to empower and facilitate women with the knowledge and the foundations and the support to create their own startups and to create their own companies. Okay, so Monse has been working on that for many years now. She's like based in the Netherlands, and that's what we do. Just like we try to promote knowledge and all the resources they can get, all right, to just start their own businesses. In South Africa, it's super difficult to start a business. They have a lot of hurdles and a lot of limitations. So that's why we are just trying to do that. So when Monse just told me, okay, you have to talk to Teresa, it's like, okay, let's get that. Because she's really you know, an expert in startups, an expert in women entrepreneurship. So it's like, okay, so let's go, let's do it.
Okay.
That's Coachability Foundation. That's what we do. Just like we try to help.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. And it's a pleasure to be with you, Nòelia, in this space that you have created. So you are an entrepreneur as well, because you created this space. And I'm interested, I have been interested in women entrepreneurship for many years. As I tell you the story, I was executive in one company like 12 years ago, and I launched several brands, and some women approached me and said, could you please help me launching my own brand because I'm a startup? Could you please help me to elaborate my strategic plan? Could you help me to find the right contacts to jump to another country? So it was a voluntary space in which I had the opportunity to know new business models and women leaders that wanted to launch their own projects. So that's how it started. So I had so many women addressing to me that I created one association like 8 years ago. And before that, I created a space called Inspiring Women Leaders in the Digital Era, in which I put together women investors, corporations, SOHOs, small, medium companies, public administration, technological parks, and board members to talk together to see what the trends are and the uses of these emerging and disruptive technologies. Because normally the ecosystem goes faster than bigger corporations that have really consistent processes that sometimes do not allow innovation to move forward. So it's like a bell singing in the brains that new things are emerging and can disrupt their current business models. So that's the story, and it's quite amazing how from this space of just goodwill, we have created this space of community in which we provide free access to all the women who want to approach this new space of value creation, which is the technology, the disruptive technologies that help business to be more competitive. So that's how it started. So I don't know if you knew about the story.
Yeah, I have been checking your background, and I have been just looking at the web, and I have been just
So this is the story, and we have the next Inspiring Women Leaders in the Digital Era is going to take place in Madrid this time, because last year took place in Malaga, and this year is in Madrid. And I'm so happy to return to Malaga, but we are going to have another one in Bilbao. We are just going to different countries. Yes, we are touring. Yes, it's like a road show, and we want to jump also to Latin America.
Oh, nice.
They are in contact with us. We have 22 chapters, and they are in contact with us. And we celebrate together by streaming all these events since the very beginning. Even before the pandemic, we did it digital, because we have some women from Africa that are very good friends of ours, and they join in a WhatsApp, and they can have the access to the knowledge and to the people who have these new ideas, and they can be inspired for free, because they have a lot of difficulties, as you mentioned before, to have access to these new trends, to these new business models, and they can have, and we can exchange ideas and transfer the business models from there to here, and the efficiencies that they are doing to our countries, and the other way around. So it's a space of collaboration. And that's how I want this community to work in a space in which everybody is welcome. It is not a space of one specific corporation. It's not a space of one specific, it's a space for everybody, because we emerged, and we were emerging from the ecosystem. We are not an organization that was a program of the European Union or a program of the government, of the local government. It's just an initiative of women who have this particular interest in helping women.
You're talking about providing help. So you are, I could define you as a help provider. Okay, you supply help, but who helped you when you started? How did you find the help to create what you have and you feel so proud of now?
Yeah, so basically, people I know and who trust me and I trust them, people that I studied with in different countries, so that they could be the leaders of the different spaces. So it was quite not program or strategic plan growth. It was just emerging from the need of helping and creating and being in this space, which is basically covered by startups funded by men. 85% of the projects are led by men, are founders, and only 15-16% are co-founded by women. So we decided that the fact that there are only 5% solo women projects, and the other 11% are mainly co-founded by men and women, that we need to be very close to men. And that's why in our meetings, in our international congresses, we put together men and women, because we need to be inspired by the pioneers that mainly are men, because the startup industry is around all the rocket industry in Silicon Valley, and also in Israel, all the immigrants who came from Russia in the diaspora, and they founded very bright people, mostly engineers and women and men who had a lot of talent and need to develop and to focus in a path. So that is how this industry was emerged. But it's an industry that is almost $3 trillion American dollars. This is that data from the World Economic Forum. I, in my book, Entrepreneurs, we have the English version as well in Amazon. I asked myself, if more women were creating startups, how much wealth could we create for society, and how much how more people will be employed in high value jobs. So that's are my thoughts that I share with you and with all of the people that approach me, so that all together we invite people to be a part of this movement, because it's a movement that is happening all over the world, in the 5 continents or the 4 continents. It's happening. We have a small representation, but we are there. And our mission then is to provide with visibility to those projects that are already emerging and have had success or not, because some of the projects have failed, because you know that 8 out of 10 are failing. But as a coach, you know that when you fail is when you learn. But this is a culture change that we need to let's say, to be aware of, because we are, because I was educated in a system in which when you fail, you are punished, and nobody elevates you. Nobody encourages you to move forward, to ask yourself what are the learnings and what are the failures, and to choose another path, and to share those failures to other people who can be inspired in the steps that you have been doing. So this is something that we need to change altogether, because it's a culture in which, as I told you before, you cooperate, you put your knowledge to the service of others, and you learn a lot and quicker. Maybe you think that you lose the control of your knowledge and that everybody's going to know what you know, and it's the other way around. You enrich the basis of your knowledge, and the curve of learning is exponential. So these are the thoughts that I have been exploring these last 10 years. And during the pandemic, I said to myself, women have a lot of barriers to start a project. So basically the financial barrier is the highest barrier. The internal one is another one, because we always think that we cannot achieve many projects. We are very perfectionist in a way, and we need a hand to pull us to the community, so that you see what others are doing and invite you to try, no? In a space of comfort where there is a lot of cooperation, where there is a lot of dialogue, and where you can put together ideas without having the shame of saying something that is not totally correct. It doesn't matter. You learn by doing. So I said to myself during the pandemic, let's show the cases that already are in the different continents.
Yeah.
So I called my friends from all over the world during the pandemic. I didn't lose my time in the pandemic. Not only me, but many people in the pandemic have done marvelous projects. So I don't know where the energy came from, but something called my heart, and it's something that never happened to me before. So it was like a very high energy that I had. I was writing till 3 o'clock in the morning. I was awake at 7. I was sleeping 4 hours. I said, where do I find this energy that I'm not tired? Because I was so passionate about the project that I couldn't stop writing. So I wrote like 23 cases, and in the first part, I wrote some strategic thoughts about how to approach ecosystems from corporations or medium-sized companies or SOHOs. So it's quite, let's say, easy to read, invites you to positiveness, invites you to talk to other people that do other stuff, and to invite you to go to other areas that are not your comfort areas, so that you feel a little bit of, let's say, that you are afraid of being there, but it's a good, let's say, it's a good feeling, because it's a feeling that you need to have, and security, because you don't know, you are diving in a new space, but it's good because it's challenging you, and it creates you a feeling of learning, and stimulates your curiosity to move forward in that idea that you are constructing. So,
absolutely, I totally agree with you. It's just like the importance of passion, community, bonding. This is not about one world against the other. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not about some men in power and some women trying to get this power from them. You know, I think this is about balancing and knowing that we are 50-50 in this world. So we should also be 50-50 in all the way, all the steps, you know, and all the sides. It's not I'm against you. I want to take your power from you. This is like, I deserve, I also want to be in power. I also want to be someone. I want to be seen, and I want to be heard. And you don't need to feel like I'm challenging you, or I'm just you know, trying to get you down or whatever. This is not a matter about that. I think it's about more being a community and being visible, and we also have the right to be there, you know?
Yes, totally agree. And it's a question of knowing that there is a path for us from the professional point of view that is open for us, so that you communicate this at schools, at universities, and you provide with the right education, so that if you like that idea with the pioneers' testimony, and I think you have more challenge. You are challenged in a way, and you have more opportunities to do what you really love. So it is not that everybody has to become entrepreneurs, but you need to know the choices so that you make the right one for your professional career. At this moment, people don't know that you have this choice, and we need to show the world that this is one option for a professional career, and that is not a profession that is reserved for, let's say, Einsteins and people who have who are the most talented. It's for everybody who have an idea, who have a purpose, and just need to have the courage to launch it and to persevere in that path.
Who inspired you, Teresa? Because you are an inspiration, you are a pioneer, but who inspired you?
Yeah, everybody inspired me. I think the frustration that when I studied my international MBA, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and there was no path to do that. In fact, I registered a lot of, when internet was at the very beginning, and I was working in Lycos Europe. I'm talking to you 23 years ago. I registered, but I didn't know how to do it. There was no public policy at all in this. And I think this frustration that I couldn't put in practice my project invited me to do. There is no going to be more people who have this path closed. And in fact, I remember very well when I'm talking to you in 1992, when the Olympic Games took place. We have the CEO of one energy company in my MBA camp. He came and he did a speech about leadership, and then I was very keen on innovation in that time. I love innovation, no? So I asked him, and why did you choose to become a CEO of a corporation? Why didn't you launch your own project? And I remember that he was mute. He didn't know what to answer because he didn't expect that question, no? So it's something that I have inside myself. It's my nature. You as a coach know that the more we practice, the more we know how we are. So it was a self, during this path, I tried to better know myself, and I am an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur because I all the time launching projects. I all the time think about how to do different things, but nobody told me that I was an entrepreneur, that I was an innovator, that I was. And it is true that when I was working in corporations, my presidents, they got mad about me because I was proposing new ways, new ideas, new projects, because it's my nature, because I see one thing and we could do this in a different way. But 30 years ago, when I started, that was not I was not obedient, and the culture of the corporations was to be obedient. And now, thank God, is changing. They need talent that is challenging the status quo so that they don't lose the path of innovation, and a little player is not arriving to disrupt them. And this kind of talent is quite, all the corporations are looking for this talent. Now I almost 60 years, I have the same spirit as when I was 18, and I think that things are changing, and with the energy that we have, and I think we are going to be a country of reference in entrepreneurship, and women are going to play a very important role.
Let's hope you're right. Because
Yes.
we really need a win this time. You know, it's just like because we've been fighting a lot and not winning much. So it is important to believe in ourselves and to believe in the power that we have and in the essence and, you know, and who we are. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? Right? How can you just sell something or try to promote something if you don't believe in your own capabilities?
Yeah, and I think what it is important that I learned during this path is that you surround by people who elevate you. When there are some people that they just diminish you, and who is not opening you doors, just go away, find another spaces, look for blue oceans in which people are willing to help you, and don't be shy to talk a very important person to help you, because most of the people in this world are willing to help, because it's you have a very good feeling when you feel useful to people, and some people are willing to do it. So just maybe you have a frustration when they say no, but no worries, there are thousands and millions of people who are willing to help. So this is a good advice for those who want to become entrepreneurs, not to become frustrated, to be resilient about that, because normally the doors are not open. You need to build trust, and you build trust when you persevere, when they see your passion, when they see that you are transparent. That is a very deep feeling that has, as you mentioned, a true essence of purpose, and that you have good intentions with your project. So it's a path of work. Nothing is free. You need to work close to people and communicate what you are doing, and ask for help, and also help others so that they feel a part of your project as well.
Last question, Teresa. Coachability Foundation is based on creativity. Okay, so we try to tell people that if you are creative, if you are innovative, you can make it. So how do you think that creativity is a key in your own way to create a business or to open a path for yourself?
I think it's super important to be creative. In a project, there is one person who has the idea and the vision. Always there is one person who has the vision, and you as a person, as a talented person that everybody has a talent that you need to discover that is different from others, that is going to explode, and you need to find that talent. So you need to find people who help you in those areas that you are weak, that complements you. So if you are a creative person that has a vision and is not a person that is good at whatever is planification, or find someone who does that. In my book, I mentioned one book I read of one Jewish girl who is from INSEAD. She studied at in Paris in INSEAD MBA, and she did a study with more than 10,000 enterprises in the US. And they asked the following question: which is the skill that you are looking for in the high talented people that you recruit in your companies? And the number one was creativity. The number one was creativity, because now in this world of disruption, you cannot planify. You have different scenarios and you need to be very agile. You need to quickly find solutions for problems and to put them in the table without any shyness. Just, this is what I think, I don't know, and you build on other people's idea without diminishing, as you mentioned, other people's thoughts or views, no? Building on other people's. So this is a change of paradigm, because normally the direction of the vision was like this, from up to down, and now is all the directions. This direction, and this direction, up, down, and from side to side. And that's the way you build the teams that are high performance teams and that have motivation. And you delegate them and empower them with those ideas, because those people are so talented. Steve Jobs said in one of his conferences, how can I control those talents that are even who know more than me? You need to empower them and to leave them work and to provide them with the resources to create fantastic things. So, and to find solutions for the world problems. And I think this is the path. And this path requires high leadership skills, because to manage people who are so talented is, for me, is the most difficult job in the world, because they are amazing talents that that need to cooperate in a way that they have their individuality, and they have also the power of co-creating with other high talented people. And sometimes when we have ideas, especially in startups, it's like our babies, and you don't want to change. So you need to be humble and to abandon some ideas in order to try others. So I think this is the path, and we need to be aware of these new challenges that the market is going to provide us in terms of new jobs, of new ways of working. Is going to change dramatically. So, which is in a way, some people are frightened about artificial intelligence. Yes, some people are frightened about the consequences that they are going to swallow or to cannibalize their jobs. And I think that technology has arrived to do the duties that men don't want to and women don't want to do, that are repetitive and don't challenge us in the creative area. It is true that artificial intelligence can do the creative thing by adding and mixing the previous ideas. Yeah, but the ones who create the future are the humans. So this is these are my thoughts, and I think that we need to not to be aware, not to be afraid of what the future the future is here, and what the future is providing us. Just try, just be informed, try to apply and find uses for your business, and be aware and learn, because now more than ever you have contents and knowledge for free in all the universities and the Ivory League. So take the advantage of the times that we are living in. And if you are curious, you are in the world of happiness and finding your path and finding all the the tools that you need to pursue your objective.
As soon as we have a future, the future will be always bright. And
yes,
the
of
importance
course
that we have a future. So
yes.
no matter how it comes, or no matter how hard it is, I mean, just the fact of having a future, you know, having a present and having a future, that makes it bright, no matter how and where you go. So Teresa, thank you very much for your help, for your wise words. As a woman myself, I thank you for your inspiration. And I just hope that you can keep inspiring a lot of people, you know, in the present, in the future, and then all the projects for you to come. So thank you very much from Coachability Foundation and on behalf of myself.
So thank you, Nòelia, and also to Coachability Foundation. And if you wish to read my book, you will find cases from women from all over the world, from Africa, from Latin America, from the US, from Europe, from Asia, that provide us with their testimony of their paths and how they find this inspiration and the strength to launch themselves to create a startup, and how where they find that support and how they overcome in the failures. So I think it's quite inspiring, and people have written me with marvelous emails saying that they were so inspired by their stories. The fact that they come from all over the world is so meaningful for all of the women, and we need to be together in this path, because we need to be in this space, because it's the space in which, working together with men, we are going to create a better world to live in.
Absolutely. So we'll tag along the book on the post when we just post it on the Instagram of Coachability Foundation. So we will promote the book.
Okay,
and
that's fine.
Thank you very much, Teresa.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you in person.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes, maybe the 15th of June, you are invited. We are going to announce maybe this week, at the end of this week. Wonderful. And you and your foundation members are welcome to attend, because I think it's a space of exchange of knowledge and a networking space, which more than ever is one of the legs of leadership, to have a high networking community in which you can share your problems, in which you can find solutions and contacts that help you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.